Hi everyone, I'm Angela's with Angela's Cooking Up Trouble with on Facebook pages basically, and I have a quick recipe I want to show. It's very simple, easy to do for a quick meal, and you can do anything with it that you want. It's just a basic recipe, but you could change this up in so many ways. Put it on salad. Just so many ways. I make a mild form because I can't tolerate it, but it's nacho bake. But I do make a milder form, but you can add hot peppers to it. I'm going to be adding a few things to it that I just had in my refrigerator that I just need to use. And that's how simple it is if you want to add hot peppers or anything else to it. Basically, I have 1 pound of ground beef. I use McCormick's taco mix, 1 pack for that. You could do this if you're a vegetarian, you don't have to use meat. Or you could use chorizo sausage if you wanted to. You could do it so many different ways, but this is just with ground beef, which is 1 pound. You follow the instructions. It's the taco seasoning. You follow the instructions, and basically you just brown the beef. We're going to add 3/4 of a cup of water to it as the package says. Do that. Then we're going to just add this pack. Let me grab my spatula that I was using. And we're going to mix this in. And yeah, I'm a mixer. I love to mix things really good. But we're going to mix this in. Then we'll put it back on the stove, basically to cook down a little bit. You want to make sure that hamburger's broke up good because you want it to kind of be incorporated really in the dish as much as you can. I'm making a pretty large amount of it. I mean, you can adjust this, or you don't have to. You can use a smaller dish. But basically, I'm using a 10 by 13 dish. I've got 2 bags of chips, and I use the yellow corn. The white corn tortilla chips just to me aren't as good as the yellow corn in this, so I use the yellow corn. But a lot of people actually even use Doritos, which is really good too. So you could basically do it any kind of way that you want. But we'll mix this in. I don't have smaller frying pans. We have too many people here that I cook for, and I make bigger portions. So, but I've got that in there. I'm going to put this on the stove, and I'm going to kind of get it bubbling a little bit and kind of cook down some of the moisture. So let me do that right quick. And while that's doing that, I'm going to take my glass dish and make sure you spray it. Use any kind of cooking spray, but it makes the cleanup so much easier. So we're just going to spray. I spray the sides and the bottom really good. Then I take and add whatever kind of cheap chips. It doesn't matter. Your favorite chips. And I just coat the bottom with the chips, scatter them about. Excuse me. I'm in North Carolina. The allergies here are awful, or allergens rather, sorry. My allergies are awful. But there, I've got that coated, and basically I use 1 jar of salsa, and I get the chunky style. I make sure I shake it really good, but I'll use half a jar. I do this in layers, so I'll use a half of the jar on the first layer. Then I sprinkle my hamburger or taco mix on top of that. Then I do another layer of chips, or I'm sorry, cheese, which I need to get out of the refrigerator. I use pepper jack cheese, and I keep it cool because it's a softer cheese and it's easier to work with and it's cool. I've already got it shredded up and ready to go pretty much. And you'll use about you can use on a dish this size 2 pounds or a little less. But let me stir this. But basically, it's just an easy dish. But a lot of people like it hotter, or you can have hot sauce to the side, or sour cream is optional too to put on top of it. But a lot of people might put it on top of a salad. Some of the chips, I use a lot of chips. The reason I use a lot of chips is because some of the chips when you bake it in the oven for just a little while to make sure you heat all the ingredients, sometimes some of the chips get soggy. Not really bad, they're just more chewy, but that's why I use so many chips. So basically, while that's almost done over there, I'm going to go ahead and take my salsa and I just kind of sprinkle around. Doesn't have to be totally coated, or you just kind of want it everywhere, and just make sure you use half the bottle. Let me stir this again. Now this is stuff I just had in the refrigerator. I had a few carrots, so I'm just going to sprinkle a few carrots in here, just to kind of get rid of it. I'll probably just use some of it on the top. I also had some alfalfa sprouts, so I'm going to sprinkle some of those so they just don't go to waste. Can't remember how to open it. I've been working in the yard, so I don't have any fingernails anymore. So it's making it a difficult life for me. There we go. Let me stir that again. Trying to make this it's a really quick meal. And this beef is pretty much about done. So it doesn't take long at all. But I'm going to sprinkle some of this on it. Nobody will probably even notice it. And they don't mind this stuff at all anyway. But I already had made another dish with it and had a lot left over, and I don't like to waste food. And this doesn't have to be in every layer. I'm just doing it. Alright, I'm going to put my hamburger mix, half of my hamburger mix, on top of this. And I just put some on the spatula and I sprinkle it around. You could use a spoon, it might be easier. But I just basically sprinkle it around about half the mixture. Oops, about there, but maybe a meat lover will get that one. Yeah, I'd say that's not quite half. You could add more meat to it if you wanted to, but I only think it's necessary just for a pound. Okay, we've got half of that mixture going. Then I'm going to top it with some cheese. And my family loves cheese. And this is pepper jack. I only use pepper jack. You can use any cheese that you choose. But I make sure I cut it really good cheese because they'll complain if I don't. Spoon would have been much easier. I should have set up a little better. But like I said, it's Angela's Cooking Up Trouble on Facebook. That's where our page is. And you can find lots of recipes that are quick and easy. Facts on foods that you might not have known. Like a banana is actually, a banana tree is actually a herb. So I didn't know if you knew that or not. Okay, we're back. My camera seems to have a mind of its own. But anyway, what I've done was I did that first layer, and I'm just repeating the second layer. I've already got the chips and everything. I just totally repeated that. I'm going to top this with cheese again. Which will finish it off. I think I got a few more onions over here. Crumble up that cheese a little bit. And if you've got cheese left over or whatever, I always stick mine in the freezer. It lasts forever. And you can use it on the next dish if it's not something you use other than this dish. Or you might find it, or you just have it available. But it doesn't look like I'm going to have much left. It's a big dish, but you could cut it in half, still do the pound of beef with the, and just, cut it in half as far as the chips and do a smaller dish of it. So it's very optional. Or just keep a little bit for crackers or something like that. Which probably will be, I don't know. That's probably what I'll end up having to do. Because there's some I just don't want to feel like breaking up. I push in my edges. Yes, I just made a mess. You could do a neater job. I'm sure. But I tuck in the edges so it doesn't bubble over or anything like that. I'm just going to use this. We got all that done. I see one little spot that could use some covering there. And I can clean this up. I got a clean table set. Okay, I'm going to finish off this carrots just to add color to it, maybe a little bit here and there. There's only a little bit. And I actually cut up some green onions to kind of add some color to it too. There's not much. There's just a little bit, but it'll get it out of the refrigerator. And just a sprinkle of green onions. I keep them growing in a cup. If you buy them at the store, you can actually put them in water and they'll keep growing back. So as they keep growing back, I just keep using them. Then your oven should be preheated. You can go ahead and start preheating your oven, before you start 400 degrees. And you'll cook this maybe about 20 minutes till it's warmed through, the cheese is melted, and then you can take it out, do whatever you want to with it. I always wait for mine to cool just a little bit before I let anybody dip into it, because I don't want anybody getting burned. And plus it could run all over the place. With, cheese, soft cheese, it could run. So you basically want to do that. But I make sure my edges are tucked in. And then I'm going to stick it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes just to heat it through really good. And then we'll be right back. I shall show you the final product in just a minute. Well, I'm back with you and it's done. 400-degree oven for about 15-20 minutes. I definitely keep an eye on it. I don't brown it quite as much. Some like the cheese on top a little brown more. You might want to do that. It's up to you. But it turned out beautiful and it tastes great. You can top it with sour cream. But I hope you'll check out our page. It's Angela's Cooking Up Trouble on Facebook pages. And we have a lot of recipes there. And videos, and some are my recipes, some are other people's recipes that I'll post. If it's interesting, I post it. And a lot of easy dishes, some more difficult dishes. But those difficult dishes may seem a little easier if you check out the videos. So I hope you'll definitely check out those pages and forgive me for that first layer. And luckily we got that first layer in before my camera decided to shut off. It does that occasionally when I'm rambling on, but I guess it's just got a mind of its own. But that just happens sometimes. But it did turn out, and you use, after that first layer, you do the second thing, the same thing with the second layer. And you can top it, and it has a little bit of color to it, and it just looks awesome, and it tastes really good. Feeds a lot of people if you just want to serve up and you got people coming over for a snack, dinner, you know, heavy hors d'oeuvres, whatever. You can even top this, put this on salad. So it's awesome. So I hope you'll try it and check it out. It's Nacho Bake. Definitely hope to see you and check out the page and give me a like if you could. I don't have many likes on the page. I have a lot of visitors, but I just don't have any likes. And just people have gotten out of that on Facebook. But I hope you'll give me a like. I need 18 more just to see how the page is doing as far as the stats. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and check out our page if you can. Angela's Cooking Up Trouble. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye.